And good evening, everybody. It is the Heaven Hollywood digital experience. The first show. Thank you. And welcome to the Heaven Hollywood digital experience. Sponsored by Dollhouse Radio. Produced by Jimmy Ace. I have to give him his just due. And we're doing the same thing here. We're doing the same thing that we pretty much do on Tuesday nights. So we used to do on Tuesday nights on Dollhouse Radio. But you will now be able to see the podcast live on Dollhouse Radio on Tuesdays. Same day. I'll try to put up the same time as well. Today, we're going to have live on the Heaven Hollywood hotline. Miss Kat Stacks is this book right here we'll be talking about. Becoming Kat Stacks. And she's going to be calling us up around 1 p.m. And we'll be going over a whole bunch of stuff. We're going to try to stay away from the old stuff, but we're going to be going over a bunch of stuff. In the meantime, that's 1 p.m. She'll be calling in. In the meantime, we're going to go over our Heaven Hollywood Hot Topics. That's the HHHT. That's what we'll call it. Heaven Hollywood Hot Topics. Some of the things that have been going on this week. As you know, we follow the celebrity scene a lot. So let's just talk about some of the top stories. And we have to give an applaud after our lead story. This is my lead story. Amber Rose is divorcing Wiz Khalifa. Amber Rose is divorcing Wiz Khalifa. It gets no better than that. Thank you. Good night. I can go home after that. Here's the story from what's been going on so far. Amber Rose, as people know, they've been married a little bit over a year. And Amber, it came out that Amber Rose was being managed by newly single Nick Cannon. Now, old Slick Nick, as I like to call him, Slick Nick is managing Amber Rose. So sometime early last week, Amber went to the press and said that she was filing for divorce from Wiz Khalifa after a year of marriage and a child. So people immediately wanted to start allocating what exactly was going on. In her original piece, the documents never said anything about cheating or anything like that. So Amber did come out and say that her husband, Wiz Khalifa, he'll probably have to get a big dummy to this. Her husband, Wiz Khalifa, was a serial cheater, and he cheated on her, and that is why she was filing for divorce. I love this producer. So Wiz Khalifa was cheating on Amber Rose. And that's the reason why she filed for divorce. So, then Wiz fired back and said that, Amber, something along the lines of pot calling the kettle black, something like that. Make like that Amber was cheating on him as well. But the old Heaven Hollywood, we do research before we print stuff. We don't just go to print like a lot of these other blog sites, and they don't care if they're wrong. They don't care if their reputation's all screwed up. We like to We like to let people know the truth. And if it's not the truth, if I'm not sure of it, I'm not going to print it. So what had happened was Nick Cannon got dragged in the middle of it. Oh, Nick just can't stay out the news, can he? First, he loses a diva. He loses one of the 5 most famous women in the world, probably, which he never should have been with her anyway from the beginning. I don't even know how he got her. And he loses Mariah Carey because he's too busy talking about Kim Kardashian on the air, about how he smashed Kim Kardashian, whatever. So Nick. So what happens is, because he became a manager, now there was a lot of rumors about Nick Cannon was now smashing Amber Rose. So Amber ended up getting, from what we're saying, allegedly, she's going to get $1 million from the prenup. How does that work? You have the prenup is supposed to be so you can't get any of his money. So now what do they pay her to sign? Let me ask Jimmy Ace this. Did they pay her to sign a prenup? She gets paid $1 million to sign a prenup? Because she's getting $1 million, but they had a prenup. How's that work out?
Excuse me. Yeah, I like to sign that deal. I mean, you basically get signed a deal just to get screwed, literally and figuratively, and get $1 million payout if it don't work out.
Man, I thought the prenup meant, you couldn't get anything.
Yeah, I thought there was like some sort of like, okay, this is only what you get, or
right.
So if it's so forth, as long as both parties agree or something.
I tell you, but on heavenhollywood.me, that's the website, heavenhollywood.me, we ride for Amber Rose. So I don't care what the story is. I'm riding with Wiz cheated on Amber. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Other news, my second big story is the security of my favorite celebrity, the most talented and beautiful Kim Kardashian. Let me repeat that. The most talented and beautiful Kim Kardashian. Kim, let me give you a little bit of advice. Beef up your security. Did you see what happened to Kim? Okay, Kim Kardashian was in Fashion Week over in, where are they at? Paris, France. Her and, Kanye Yeezus. They were in Fashion Week. And, Kanye, for all the talk about how he always so possessive over Kim and obsessive, and this, that, and the other, they get out of the car. Kanye comes out the left back side of the car. Kim comes out the total opposite side. So she comes out the right, and I think Kris Jenner was in there. I don't know whether she was giving Kanye head or what. But she was in the back seat with him. She gets out with Kim on the same side as Kim. Kanye's all by himself, Kanye, for the person who says he hates paparazzi, he was looking for the paparazzi this day, boy, out there in Fashion Week. So Kanye's waiting for the paparazzi. So someone runs and attacks Kim Kardashian. And they almost drag her to the ground. Like, I don't know, some guy comes out of nowhere and he attacks her. And it's funny because you can hear Kim, like, even though it's a lot of noise, you can hear Kim, stop it, Kanye. So Kanye's all the way on the other side trying to get his photography on. And Kim, meanwhile, his precious wife, who he wants nobody there, is getting dragged to the ground like some psychopath. What's the matter with Kanye West? Kanye West, for all of the, and then he comes over like, what's going on? By that time, the security's already dragged the guy, beat him to a pulp, dragged him off of Kim Kardashian. You know how people, when you get your house robbed, and then you come running in 20 minutes later back, where are they? They're gone. So Kanye West allows his girl, his wife, his precious Kim, to get dragged to the ground. Here is my point. I have now seen Kim Kardashian get hit with a flower bomb. I've seen her get hit with a glass in a club. You know, she's got stalkers all on her property. Kim, either you have to fire some people or you're going to have to beef up your security because this is getting ridiculous. Somebody is going to really hurt Kim. And I'm being serious. It's not what I want to happen. I love Kim. Like I said, I think she's the most beautiful, most talented woman in Hollywood. I love Kim Kardashian. I don't want to see you hurt. Get you some more security, Kimmy. Kimmy Cakes. You got to get some more security. These people are nuts out here. And this guy dragged you to the ground. Who knows what to do? Or a jealous person. And Kanye. And that's a bad job. I guarantee you'll never see Beyonce getting dragged to the ground. And we all know before the Beyonce stands, so well, that bitch is not Kim. She is not Beyonce. We're not saying that. But Kim Kardashian is a famous person all over the United States and outside the United States. So famous is famous, as far as I'm concerned. The same people who know who Beyonce is probably knows 90% of them know who Kim Kardashian is. They're both famous. So famous or not, or is she more famous than Beyonce? No, but she is famous. Boost up that security, Kimmy. You know what? I'm tired of this. I'm putting out a personal threat right now. A personal threat. I'm looking into the camera. And you can hear it on my podcast loud and clear. A personal threat. The next person that attacks Kim Kardashian, be ready to have a visit paid for you from me. How about that? Personal visit. And I'll be telling them about my little friend I think say hello to. Say hello to that little friend. I'll tell you, I'm coming after him. Don't you see people shaking in their boots? People shaking in their boots. Heaven Hollywood has issued a personal threat. So we got that going on. I think someone sent me something. I think Chris Brown's in trouble again. What a surprise. Why isn't Chris Brown not in jail for the rest of his life? I don't get it. They keep letting these celebrities out. What happened was, from what I'm reading, a woman tried to kiss him on the cheek. And he shoved the woman out of the way. He blocks her attempted kiss. He shoved her out of the way. Now, granted, you don't want to just be kissing everybody. I understand that. But, Chris, don't you think you're in enough trouble? Why don't you just let the woman kiss you? It can't be that bad. Kat Stacks is going to be calling in at 1 p.m. Andrea Herrera, a.k.a. Kat Stacks. She just released a book. It's called Becoming Kat Stacks. So we're going to get into it. She autographed it for me as well, so you can see. That's what happens when people like you. They do stuff like that for you. We'll be talking to her. She's going to be calling at 1 p.m., but she's actually late. But 1 p.m. she'll be calling in. What else? Oh, now some good old-fashioned porn news. Adult entertainment, porn, whatever you want to call it. So I don't know whether you people know. You got to really be into porn like myself. There's a guy named Max Hardcore. Okay, Max Hardcore did all the ghetto gaggers, dirty Latin sluts and all this other stuff. Hardcore porn. Like that. I mean, hardcore. So there's a performer, actually one of my favorite performers, named Bonnie Rotten. Well, Bonnie Rotten is suing Max Hardcore, saying that he had scenes of her that he released that she never gave permission to release. And here she's got this big lawsuit from what. But the thing is, he filed for bankruptcy. He filed for bankruptcy, and the bankruptcy states that he's over $1 million in debt. So I don't think Bonnie's going to be getting much. Max Hardcore, here is a point, and that goes back to what Zendaya always said. If you've been in porn, and Max Hardcore's been in porn a long time, if you've been in porn that long, how are you $1 million in debt? You gotta get your money working right. These porn stars, and he's not no young guy. It's Max Hardcore. So, but the thing about Bonnie Rotten is, from what I've known with Max Hardcore, is you sign release forms right away. Okay, right away you sign release forms. So I don't know exactly what she's talking about. But from what I've seen of the release, she did an interview after she filmed and said, "Oh yeah, the scene is really great." She was bigging the scene up. Hello. And now, I don't know whether a boyfriend done saw it and didn't like what he saw, or because Max Hardcore scenes are pretty vicious. Or maybe she didn't get paid what she thought she was going to get paid, or what have you. Or maybe now she's found this newfound religion. I don't know what the heck she's doing. But all I know is she ain't getting no money. The dude is broke. Blow it. It's the Heaven Hollywood digital experience. First time on podcast. We're streaming, video streaming through YouTube. I am sure that I would have a rant before the day is over. We're waiting on Cat Stats. Give us a call. I'm going to go and try to catch up with her. It's one thing. So, in the meantime, it is the Heaven Hollywood digital. Let's see what we can go to. I can kill some time and make a phone call. Let's get an interlude. My producer, here, let's see. Drum up some crazy interlude.
Okay.
That'll take a few minutes.
Okay.
And we'll be right back to the Heaven Hollywood digital experience. First time, first show. Dollhouse Radio. All right. And we're back. Tell him, Rodney Dangerfield. We're back at Heaven Hollywood Digital Experience. I was 2 seconds off of saying 646-595. Oh man, I swear I was gonna say that. Waiting on the phone call for Cat Stacks. Let's see what other things we got going on. So much going on like this last week that I talked about, but we're gonna talk about it again. Oh, okay. This is what somebody wanted me to talk about. I know you probably didn't see this, but I have to talk about this Love and Hip Hop Hollywood stuff. And I'll tell you something, man. I have had it. I've had it up to here with reality shows. I've had it. I'm waiting on sitcoms to come back and take over TV. We have a few good sitcoms out there, but I'm waiting for sitcoms to come back and take over television because this reality show stuff is killing me. We got Ray J. We got Ray J still trying to recover from the loss of Kim Kardashian. Here it is, some 6 years later. And I like Ray J. Don't get me wrong. I like Ray J. But here it is, some 6 years later, and Ray J still can't get over Kim Kardashian. She's married. She's with Kanye. And he ain't letting her go unless you're some guy in Paris that's going to tackle her when she comes out of a car. Kanye's out of right. So unless you're that guy from Paris, Kim Kardashian is done. You got Ray J. You got Soulja Boy on the show. You have Lil Fizz. Everybody says, who? Lil Fizz, exactly. Lil Fizz, formerly of B2K. Then you have the real B2K member, Marion. He's on there as well. It's like the member. The only one Marion's the only one that people remember from B2K. So we have that. Now, then there's at least one, I can say about this. This is the one show so far from Love and Hip Hop franchise that there were actually people on there that I knew prior to it coming on. And you've heard of Ray J. You know, you've heard of Ray J. You've heard of Soulja Boy, unfortunately. Fortunately, you heard of Soulja Boy. You heard of Omarion. You've heard of these people. But the ratchetness continues for Mona Scott King or Mona Scott Young, whatever this broad's name is, that's putting all this stuff together. This chick has probably exploited more black men than FEMA. FEMA. Mona Scott King, I think her name is, just continues to exploit black people. It's unbelievable how they could, this woman I don't get it. I'll never get it. But they continue to watch her. Um, let's see. There's so much going on. How about this? I was looking through celebritynetworth.com. I like to do stuff like that just to see how much of these people really worth. It's talking all this stuff. And from what they say, they have a pretty accurate, it's pretty accurate. Of course, they can't track everyone's money, but from what they say, that's pretty accurate. If I asked you, just offhand, who's worth more money? Beyonce, Madonna, Mariah Carey. If you had one guess, who would you think was worth more money? I'll give you a second. I wish I had the Jeopardy music. I'll give you a second. But if you was to be asked.
Interesting. I would like to think it would be Madonna by a nose, but Beyonce, we all know, giving birth to money.
Right.
So
printing money.
Yeah. Just her alone. I'm not even putting her husband out and say Jay-Z.
Right.
Who's the third one again? Madonna, Beyonce, who?
Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey. Yeah, Mariah got money, but I don't think she's a Madonna status.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not saying she's not iconic, but she's not in that higher plateau. She's known forever, but I would say Madonna slightly by a nose, then Beyonce, but Beyonce's right there. I mean, I would say if I had to, I'd say Madonna by a nose, or worst case scenario, they're tied, but I don't see Mariah Carey outdoing both of those.
So Madonna is your guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Since Mariah was the one left on the cone, you said you think she got Beyonce by nose.
Yeah, I think Madonna. I mean, would I be surprised if you say Beyonce right now? No, but I would definitely be surprised if you say Mariah beats out Madonna and Beyonce.
Mariah Carey's worth at this moment $510 million. That's Mariah Carey. Beyonce, as you said, Madonna. Beyonce. $450 million.
Okay, so she's not the one, obviously, but is she two or is she last of the three?
We're gonna find that out.
Drum roll, please.
I'm just actually going through the dramatics. I actually know the answer.
Yeah, I know.
I'm acting like I'm typing it in.
Yeah,
So
I
people
know.
be like, "Oh, what's the answer?"
Wow, this is so real.
He does it right there live. Madonna. Net worth. Madonna is influential, best-selling, recording, musical artist
Yes.
who has a net worth
Yes.
of $700 million. $700 million.
I win.
Madonna Louise Chacon. Wow. After all time, she's still smacking bitches around. Long interview coming in.
Cool. Okay.
So we are waiting on our Miss Cat Stats.
Yes, it's me.
It is Cat Stats live on the Heaven Hollywood Digital Experience. Cat, welcome.
Numbers yesterday.
Oh, okay, there we go. That was the issue. I'm sending a text and like, why is this woman not answering me?
No, I changed my number and I forgot. I guess I forgot to let you know. I'm sorry, guys.
Not a problem. We're waiting for you. We're holding up the book right now, which is Becoming Cat Stats by Andrea Herrera. Now, Cat, the first question is, and I got a lot of questions here that people emailed to me. What took so long for the book?
I was having issues with my last management, which was worked by his boss, and, he took things personal instead of business-wise, and he held the book hostage for, like a year and a half, almost 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
He held the books hostage for how long?
The book was supposed to, the first release date was supposed to be May 4th of 2013. Then it was changed in, documents for October 15th of 2013. And it never came out. He never published it.
Well, what a dummy.
Yeah.
So, and if I'm not mistaken, the book was, you had to totally, probably because of his childishness, I think you had to re-title the book and everything, correct?
Can you repeat that again?
You had to retitle the book and everything because of him, correct?
Actually, when we were having issues, I hired a lawyer.
Okay.
And the lawyer contacted Q and told him, you have 5 days to either release the book or release her from contract because you violated the contract. Because if the publisher did not release the book 60 days after the release date, author is allowed to take the manuscript to a different publisher. So that's what happened with Q. And he, instead of him trying to work things out with me and put the book out, he wrote back with his lawyer trying to fight me and just sending senseless letters. So the lawyer told me, he was like, listen, all he's going to do is make you waste time with this letter. Each letter is $500 to reply.
Right.
So he's like, you're going to waste all this money. He's like, what you can do is release the book, or, since you have a fan base, you can self-publish. He was like, just release it and sell it. If he takes you to court, it'll be like 5 to 8 years for him if he tries to sue you. Or either way, just, give him his money back or whatever.
Right.
So I'm like, yeah, so I was like, okay, whatever. So since he didn't want to work this out with me, I started looking for new publishers. And I was like, look, he violated contract. He doesn't own the rights anymore, blah, blah, blah. And Q was harassing every publisher I was going to with his lawyers. Because I guess if he has money, he could send like 1,000 letters.
Right. Yeah, understandable.
Yeah, so finally I went to a different publisher. And he was like, we don't give a fuck about Q. I was like, fuck you.
Okay.
So we're like, okay, let's do this. So what I did, I went through the store because it was a rough draft. It wasn't finished yet. But so what I did, I kind of like almost rewrote everything. I switched everything my own version instead of, having an editor put things their way and stuff. So I switched up the story. I renamed the title to what I wanted, and I, changed the cover to something I wanted to do. It's kind of like my version, like what came out of my brain instead of like other business brains and stuff, whatever.
Right.
So I was like really excited for it to come out, and as soon as I posted that the book was coming out, here comes Q with his lawyers like harassing me, and they were like, you can't put the book out because we're putting the book out and blah, 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 blah. And we'll put the book out in 60 days.
you. Take me to court.
From, like, yeah, so instead he blocked me from like selling my book on Amazon and all that other crap. And then he went and instead of 60 days, he goes and he releases the book. So he released a rough draft for like less than a week. He released it. I'm like, oh, what? You didn't want to release my book for like almost 2 years, but now you want to release it because you see I released now. But instead, he like released a rough draft that was non-factual. It had errors on it. There were stuff that the editors put in there that was not true and it needed to be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
And then he bashed the book. Like, I'm like, listen, the story is not about you.
Right.
Or I'm not like trash talking anybody. It's actually about underage human trafficking in America. That, people need to be aware about what goes on in the underground world, where little girls are being killed and abused and raped and stuff. So I'm like, what is your problem? Like, the book is not about you. It's about what girls have gone through when I was under 18 years old. Like, I didn't even know you when I was 18 or younger. So why are you obsessed with me and my story? So
Right.
he's like really psycho and demented. And I hope no one ever signs a contract with him. Because
What?
he is not a businessman.
And we'll get back into him, but with the book, and the book is Becoming Cat Stacks. What has been your I read the book a couple of times, and what I like is when people pick up the book, the first thing they're going to be looking for is Soldier Boy stories and Bow Wow stories and Chopper stories. But what I liked was it was a book that is inspirational and let a lot of people know a lot about you that they did not know. I mean, they heard some of the things that you had said, but when you put it in detail, this book, I mean, people have no choice but to have. I have a whole lot more respect for you because you really went through a lot, and to still even be alive to talk about it. What's been some of the response you've gotten from young females, especially?
Well, that's the main reason I wrote the book. To leave a print in this world, before I die, that, maybe to prevent somebody from going through my experiences, male or female.
Right.
And it's just a self-help positive book about prostitution, gangs, and pimps. And it's not also like bashing the pimp game, because I'm also opening eyes to the pimps that are still in the game of, look, if you keep going, this is what's going to happen to you.
Right.
Either someone's going to kill you or you're going to prison. Like, one of my ex-pimps, he's doing 15 years now for, human trafficking. So the stress is real. So it's kind of like I haven't gotten no response from the pimps. The pimps buy the book. They actually take it to the book. But the girls, they're like, some of them be like, oh, I want to quit the game now and go to school and help other, prostitutes who are still working. Or they'd be like, thank you so much for your story. I've got to find myself and understand what this life is really about instead of just waking up and just going to work and not realizing what you're doing with yourself and stuff. So it's mostly, I got a lot of support from the women right now. So it's pretty perfect.
And then, and of course, we're talking to the one and only Cat Stacks here on the Heaven Hollywood Digital Experience. Then, of course, you're going to have the men. You see, the men want to hear about the sex stories and the celebrities. Because the men, it's funny. Men respond so funny, like to females, because it's like you're talking more positive stuff and more, inspirational stuff. Men don't want to hear that. They want to hear about who smashed, who you exposed, or whatever. What has been the response as far as men go, as opposed to the response from women?
Most of my customers that are buying the book are actually male.
Okay.
And, the grown men, the ones who are grown, they be like, oh, I gave this book to my daughter, or, a family member that,
I said, I was saying that's good.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And then I'm like, no. But yeah, the grown men, that have kids and stuff, they pass the book around to their kids. Because the book is censored. Like, it's not like cursing and bashing. It's like very censored. So it's like someone in middle school picks it up, or in the 5th or 6th grade, they'll be censored. So
Well, that's
I don't know. It's kind of like the Bible for hoes.
the whole Bible.
We already got enough. Yeah, because we already have enough pimps who are writing books and glorifying the game. Now it's time for a girl who was in the pimp game to write a book about the pimps now.
We're talking to Cat Sachs. I like that. The Bible for hoes. Now, when you were being held in deportation, jail, or whatever they want to call it, Q at that point in time was, I guess you can shed some light on this, some true or false stuff, because this is what people want to know. He was funding your bills and what have you when you were locked up. Is that a true statement or a false statement?
I don't really want to get into that immigration stuff. Like, comment on that subject.
Well, the reason why I'm asking is because if that happened, it's what happened with you two that it just went totally south. With you, because you were working when you came out, you were working together. Everybody, you was like the first lady of World Star Hip Hop, and I don't care what people say about that Cuban whatever her name is. You were the first lady of World Star Hip Hop, and that's what everyone's looking for. And then all of a sudden,
no, that's actually okay. Yeah, I go by respect, by street respect. So the first model of World Star Hip Hop who was actually working with Q before because everybody wants to claim World Star now, but before when nobody gave a shit, it was actually Cubana Luz. I respected her position as, first lady because you were there before me.
Right.
And, I came after. So she was first lady, and then I became Queen World Star because of the exposure that I gave World Star.
Right.
With my fake entertainment reality show we had. And, well, after I got locked up, here comes, Q got big-headed after he won his first blog, number one hip-hop blog.
Right.
In 2010. Yeah, after we did the fake reality show on his website, he got the number one blog site, and I got locked up, and he got big-headed. So I didn't know this because, I'm behind closed doors, so
right.
I don't really know what's going on. And I come out, and here's Q, instead of, glorifying me like he used to, now he wants me to glorify him. So, he just got reckless. He has a lot of girls, a lot of women on World Star Hip Hop now, and none of them do anything. Like, they don't work for him. Like, I made money for World Star, and none of them work for him or make him any money or give him exposure. And one of those girls, he decided to give her a title as first lady. So I went off of him. I'm like, if this not bringing nothing to the table, why are you giving her a plate? But you just give her a plate, you gave her a tag. So instead of him saying, taking her off the throne, he blocked me and just cut me off. And he was like, you're gonna regret it. And I was like, you're gonna regret it. And that's when the whole drama started.
Wow. And to this day, after now, technically, how long did it take you to write and complete this book, Becoming Cat Sachs?
The original story, I wrote it while I was locked up.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, when I came out, Q said, you don't have to work. He rumors. He turned down reality shows with Wendy Williams and Bravo when I was different stuff. And he was like, yeah, but he wouldn't let me host any shows or do anything. Just stay home. He wouldn't even invite me to none of his World Star parties. Wow. He was like, just stay home. her explain. So he hired Barbary, which was a mistake. And he was like, your book is going to be the first book out of World Financial Publishing. So it'll be yours. And I'm like, okay, so I'll be the first one. So he hired Barbary. Barbary made up a fake book story about me. And I was like, I'm not publishing this book. I'm not putting this book out. I don't condone the book because you're making up stories. And I testified about the stories in court with police evidence and stuff. And I'm like, you can't do that. So I told Q, and Q told Farrah Gray to rewrite the book. So we fired the first editor. Then we had another editor. And they finally put the book together, but they still have like non-factual statements that he didn't speak sticks and rough draft and stuff.
Right.
So yeah, so before anything could be fixed, and before the book was being released and stuff, me and Q stopped fighting, and he didn't want to publish the book or finish anything. So that same rough draft, that's the one he put out.
So that's the one that's out in that's like on Kindle and stuff like that, right?
I don't know what he's doing with it. He's retarded. But mine, to write my own version and do everything, it took me like about a month or like about 3 weeks to put it all together. So get an original copy on catstack.net, becoming Catstack, and it will be sent autographed by me personally. So
okay, and that's on catstacks.net, becoming Catstacks. Here's something. Now we're going to go into some of these questions. A lot of people want to know why the tats on the face. Was it something, a statement, something personal? Because I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, why did she do it to that beautiful face?" What was the reasoning behind the tats?
I think once I get the book, they'll get to know me better because my tattoos represent my personality. It's kind of like your soul coming out, but then they see it and be like, well, she looks like a model. What the fuck are you doing? I'm like, well, I didn't grow up a model. I grew up a gang member, and I used to work for a pimp for 5 years, and I was a bum chick. So, like, I wasn't born with the prettiness. It was brought later in life. So,
makes sense.
Me. Yeah.
Makes sense. How about this? How much of your because you went through the trafficking and went through the horrifying experience of human trafficking, did that play a part? I think that really played a part in you getting released, yes?
Correct. Yeah, because in court, like, they just saw, like, at first they were going to release me, and here comes the prosecutor in the immigration case, and he brought up the cashback persona, and the judge was like, hell no, like, get the fuck out of my country. So then I was like, you can't do that because I'm a victim of underage sex trafficking with evidence.
Right.
So I had to appeal, and I had to bring up evidence. So I brought evidence from the National Children's Exploitation Center who had my case. I brought the Missing Children's Report when I was younger. I brought letters signed by the detective of the FBI who had my case when I was younger. And I brought police reports of domestic abuse with pictures when I was like 17 or something.
Mm-hmm.
So once they gathered that up, they were like, "Oh shit, we can't support her."
Wow. So that kind of helped in saving, because how close were you? And since you're out now, and I'm going to be honest with you, when people were telling me, you were getting deported, you're going back, I said, I'll believe it when I see it. I was one of the few people who said, there is no way this chick is getting deported. I said, because in those situations, the longer something goes on, you're like, there must be something wrong, or else they would deport already. So I said, there's no way. And remember, we did an interview when you were locked up. We did an interview when you were in prison. I said, nah, there's no way she's getting locked up. How much? And I know your mom had came to me personally, and we did this big media thing. How much of a factor did your mom play in all of this? Of you getting released? I mean, how much do you owe your mom?
How much I owe my mom? Well, my mom came to visit me every weekend with my son. She actually quit her job and she moved to Louisiana to be closer to me. And she stayed with me until my release. Oh, and also when Hugh was like helping me out when I was locked up, he told me, he was like, if you don't get out in 2 months, then I'm done with you. He was like, I'm finished. I'm not helping you anymore. So my mom was like, fuck that. We're not going to wait on Q since he doesn't want to help.
Right.
So she actually got a plane ticket, went to Miami, and she went to the news stations and to another lawyer who wanted to be in the case. And she went like all over the media, and that's when they let me go after she like exposed my case.
Right.
And now, because June was just hollering. She was like, I'm not helping you anymore. Like, he didn't give a fuck anymore.
Wow.
And my mom had to go do what she had to do. And once she did that, I was released.
Wow. And we're talking too, the one and only Kat Stacks. Really quickly, one of my favorite chapters in the book, I'll tell my producer, one of my favorite chapters in the book, and it started off so powerful, was the chapter that charged it to the game. Now, in that, not only were you enlightening people on trafficking, you could be a sex therapist, because you said you were enlightening. I read something that I had no idea. I've been fucking all my life. I read something that I had no idea.
What was it?
I said, "Oh, holy smoke!" All right, there was a trick that you would perform in order to get out of the sex quicker and easier.
Oh, yeah.
I said, "Oh shit! I didn't know that." Wait a minute here. Let me find it, and we're gonna ask Kat here live. This on Charge It to the Game. She started out by saying, after a while, the days begun to run together. The way I had sex was always on top and holding on to half of the penis with my hands. Boy, this was for several reasons. First, I could control the situation better. Second, I could avoid full penetration. Makes sense. Third, they would come faster, meaning I could leave faster. So does that really make guys come faster? I mean, this is new to me.
Yeah, because most people think prostitutes like sex, and that's why they do it, because they're sluts. No, we're there, to pay a rent. It's just another job, a different way. So what I used to do was, I think I should explain it better. I would first I'll be on top, so that means you have no control, under control, and
Ooh.
your stuff down there won't get loose. It'll be like it was never inside you. So I was get on top, put a condom on, and I hold half of it, maybe more, and I'll get on top, and while I'm pretending I'm biting you, I jack you off at the same time, and then I keep taking it out and rub the top and then put it back in, and before you know it, you came and I was just jacking you off.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And
but that's one of that could actually help other prostitutes who didn't know that, who are just laying back.
so prostitutes, y'all need to get this book. So all the prostitutes need to pick this book up. For that one chapter. Now, another thing is, what would you say? I've read through the book. Like I said, there's some horrifying stories. The way that you were treated, and do you think is the one thing that happened? That you put in this book that you'll remember for the rest of your life. What do you think was the worst thing done to you? In your life.
I think one of the worst chapters was the chapter when I said I got jumped.
Right.
But yeah, like I had to testify that in court too. Like it's like I already knew I was gonna get a beating that night, so I just drank a bunch of Hennessy, so I'll be numb to the pain.
Right.
So I got jumped, but at the end of the chapter, I got jumped by these two pimps. It was my pimp and his best friend, so he would call my uncle in the pimp game. So I got jumped, pistol whipped, and I was like tired of life. So I was like, fuck this shit. And I grabbed the bus cutter and I sliced my wrist. I think that was like the third time or the second time. And I sliced my thighs. And I woke up like the next day and they had put like plastic on the bed because I kept bleeding, and they like put like tissue or something like around my wrist and my thighs, and they like taped me. So I guess to stop the bleeding. And I woke up and I was like, damn, I'm still alive.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah. And it's like I'll do it like the deepest ever. Like you could like see my bone and stuff, and all they did was put tape around it.
Wow. So and that was not your first attempt at suicide.
Yeah.
Oh, you must definitely have a reason to be here because all those attempts. Nigga like me, my first attempt would have been successful. My ass would have been out. The first probably time, everybody like, you want to kill yourself, nigga, you can go ahead. You must have a purpose on life because so many attempts and yet and still you're still here. We're talking to Kat Stacks, speaking on her book, Becoming Kat Stacks, autobiography by Andrea Herrera. Now I know, and you can tell us the truth here, I know you have had to have been approached by porn stars, porn directors, want you to get into porn and do a porn movie, sex tape, guys that want to do sex tapes. I know for a fact you don't have to lie to us to kick it. Has anyone approached you about doing a porn, doing a porn career or a sex tape or anything, something like that?
I've been approached, yeah. The first time I was approached, I was like in 2010, they were like, I'll give you 10 grand right now cash because porn video. I'm like, no. So someone else was like, I'll give you 30 grand, but I think they wanted to pay me a different percentage up front, and it never came through, but that was government grant. So I was like,
30 grand. I'd be like, yeah. But
no, but they were trying to pay me 30 grand up front.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they was trying to trick you.
When my head was like messed up. Now
Right.
it's like different. It's like, well, most people do a sex tape, either for the money or the exposure. I'm like, I already have enough exposure, so it's
Right.
like, what can you give me?
Do you miss the old Kat Stacks life? Because you're pretty much living Andrea Herrera now. Do you miss the old Kat Stacks life, and what do you miss most about it?
I don't miss it. It's just that everything's like changed now. I could say like I'm more on my own now, and
Right.
everybody who's surrounded around me just like changed completely. Like maybe I just miss how people used to be around me. That's
Right.
about it. Because everybody changed. Like Mazzy, young Mazzy. I used to live with him in Atlanta. Like I don't know if people knew that, but we used to live together. Like with the whole 2010 drama. And I came out of jail, and he was like shot in the head. So he's like, and then his brother died, and he's like very gone, like in another zone, like a zombie now.
Wow.
So it's like, now I don't really mess with nobody in Atlanta. And well, Q, we were so close. And then suddenly he's like a dick now. It's like a whole new stranger person. I guess I just miss how people were before. But I guess everything happens for a reason, and you were born lonely, so.
Another person who you seem to go back and forth with friendship, was Jenna Shea. What's the relationship with you two now? Well, we guess we know what that means. No relationship whatsoever. We're talking to the one and only Andrea Herrera. The book is called Becoming Cat Stacks. Let everybody know the numerous places you can get it. I got my copy. Matter of fact, I just bought my second one. I'm going to my second one that I actually paid for. I paid for the second one. I got my autograph one, which I did not pay for, so I had to go and show respect, and buy my other copy. Let everybody know, Kat, where you can purchase Becoming Cat Stacks.
You can personally get it autographed on catstacks.net. You can pay credit card or PayPal. And I'm also doing a lot of, like book signing shows and events. So you could just, check my Instagram to see if I'm like in a location near you and you could come get your book signed and a picture.
Definitely be checking out for that. I'm always promoting, sending the link out for you. You need to come to New York. I know that for damn sure. And you could come in studio with us when you come to New York. And I just appreciate you taking a few minutes time. Remember, next time you change your number, to tell a nigga.
I will. Sorry.
Not a problem. Thank you. That's Andrea Herrera. Cat Stacks. Very wow. Interesting. I cannot lie. I was in the beginning, I was a little disappointed. I said, I want to hear about some fucking, some story like that. But as the book goes on, I'm like, okay, now I understand. This book is more of a enlightening type book, so very good.
Yeah, it was very good. Very interesting.
Especially
the part, I'm thinking.
Charge that to the game.
I love that.
Wow.
How she would be on top of her
and jerking them off.
Yeah, as long as I come, I don't care.
Hey, I'm all in.
Yes, all in, literally.
It is the Heaven Hollywood digital experience. This is the first podcast you're going to be able to listen to and see this podcast and the visual of it on dollhouseradio.com. You can check that out. I should have it uploaded hopefully by tomorrow. we don't want to make any promises now. Hopefully by tomorrow it should definitely be uploaded, at least the visual part. I'm giving my producer, I'm sure he'll have it parted out for me. If not, anyway. So it's going to be hopefully up by every Tuesday. We don't know when we're going to be actually doing the podcast. It could be a Thursday. It could be a Monday. Hopefully I'll have my crazies in here. Having Hollywood and the crazies, Miss OD, my man's in them, and La Rivers. Shout out to them. We have to shout out Miss Cat Stacks. We're going to thank her for spending a few minutes with us here. Have to shout out, of course, Ndea Morel, dollhouseradio.com. Make sure you check out blogtalkradio.com/dollhouseradio. That's where all of the shows of 14, well now 13 since I bowed out. 13 shows can be heard on there. You can hear my show, my other two shows, Hot Sugar, that's on Saturday nights from 11 p.m. to 12. That's just Ratchet. That's the Ratchet. So radio with no fear. When you come on there, I don't have no checklists for me, because the questions are going to come whenever I want to ask and whatever I want to ask. There is no such thing as no comment on that show. See, I allow Kat to get away with no comment on this show. If she was on Hot Sugar, I would not allow no comment to ride. You're just allowed to ride in Hot Sugar. Me and Ndea Morel host that show, who's the host. My show Saturdays at 6 p.m. What's your show Friday? Is the bench warmers with with the sexy. Oh, I'm just thinking about the picture of me and Sammy from Exotica. I'll have to show you.
Oh, I gotta see that. Does it look like she was about to do something? Is that what it is?
No, I wish. I wish she was about to do something.
By the way, love and shout out to Hot Sugar and Sports Live Music and the comedian himself, the comic. Adam Parsons.
Adam Parsons. My partner runs Saturdays. Now I'm just gonna big up Dollhouse Radio for about a minute.
Go ahead.
We have Real Talk with Wes Clark, my brother, on Monday nights. With a Sammy show. Sammy has a Cooking with Sammy.
Yes, it's called Cooking with Miss Brooks, which usually comes on. It would have been coming on in 5 minutes. It comes at 2:00 Monday afternoons, but she's actually doing some personal things. She's actually on vacation, so normally a day like today, I would be with her co-hosting Cooking with Miss Brooks.
There you go.
And then usually, if we do a show later on tonight, which would be the normal thing for the Heaven Hollywood digital experience, or like you said, some other day during the week, I am here. Depends on what days, because I do a whole bunch of other things. Anybody doesn't know by now, Jesus Christ, I'm like a Rican Jamaican. Everything I do, it's it's like unbelievable. It's amazing I have time, by the way, for this tonight's Stream magazine release party. Mary Jean, a porn star, is the cover girl on this, which the pictures were taken by the lovely and iconic
Miss Heather Hunter is now a photographer. She's branched out. I remember a while Heather was singing for a while. I mean, rapping. Heather does her thing. And she's now she's a very established photographer as well.
No crap on that.
Yeah, so
yeah,
she definitely
damn good pictures. Seriously, I've seen her work.
Yeah, she's definitely doing her thing. So what we're gonna do is, from now on, you're gonna be able to see this. We're gonna be doing it on YouTube, Google Hangouts. I tried the live stream thing; it just didn't work out. It's just too much going on with that. Yeah, it's gonna be on YouTube,
and Google Plus,
and right, Google Hangouts, YouTube. Yeah. So you're gonna be able to check that out. They better have a way for me to they have to have a way for me to upload it to in there.
Mm-hmm.
If not, then I'm going to be doing it from my phone.
Well, it'll be interesting. I will pull back the curtains, as I say on my show. What I would do for anybody who's interested in being in the business, we're barely in it, but to be in the business, what I do is I was.
We're in it. Man.
Technically, but you know what I'm talking about. Cha-ching. Anyway, so what I'm saying is, what I usually do, this will be saved. This is recorded on Adobe as we speak.
Okay.
And I will save it on flash drive. I will give you the flash drive, hook you up since you couldn't have one. I'll let you hold on to it so you can do the upload. Do what I do.
Okay.
And there you go. And then whenever you feel ready, when you get your own flash drive, give that one back to me.
I'll have
one of those you want.
All right. I'm definitely going to get the flash drive. I'm going to
so save it on there. You will get it. You will do whatever you want with it. Save it on your computer. Because you can save that whole thing on there for archive it, and when you put it up, Dollhouse Radio, obviously, however you do that, I have no idea, but the way you do, because I know how to do it on my Podomatic,
right?
Which I have the Benchwarmers show podcast, which me and Heaven do every Wednesday. Usually we do every Wednesday. That one is strictly Wednesday. Period. That show is different. That show will definitely be Wednesdays.
This one, according to my crazy's schedule. There may be a time where I'll get with you and find out any availability that everyone has open on that week.
Yeah, because
right. Every
now
day.
with me being a producer and the board op for Heaven Hollywood Digital Experience, which I'm very honored to do.
And did a great job, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Not that I pat myself on the back, but. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. If everybody here's a Well, everyone knows that my favorite porn star ever. She's no longer is Olivia O'Lovely. That's my favorite porn
Oh
star.
yeah,
ever.
she's nice.
And Olivia, see here, I finally got me a personal drop from Miss Lovely.
This is Olivia O'Lovely, and you're listening to the Heaven Hollywood Experience with my boo, Heaven Hollywood, on Dollhouse Radio.
So
I gotta do my
Olivia O'Lovely
for the podcast and for the live show, which I do. Which people get confused. The podcast is the podcast. It's the same show but different co-hosts.
Right.
You do the podcast co-host duties, and Sammy Brooks does the live show duties on Dollhouse Radio. That's the only difference.
And I'll tell you,
Olivia Lovely was very lovely.
Olivia O'Lovely, very lovely.
Very, muy lovely.
So we are about to get out of here. That was a experience. Of course, it's going to a digital experience. It's going to get better and much more smoother.
Yes.
Next week, pretty good for first time. We're looking to get some guests in
studio. Yes, that's the main
in
thing.
studio. That's going to be
Here.
fun,
Exactly.
and you'll be able to hear them on the podcast. Do not forget to check out dollhouse.com. Go check out Hot Sugar, the blog site, and we got everything on there. You got artists. You want to submit songs or get a feature on the blog, it's gonna cost you, but you can do it. Not saying it's gonna cost you a little, not saying it's gonna cost you a lot, but it will cost you. Other than that, I want to thank my producer Jimmy Ace, and we will be back here next week. Don't forget, check dollhouseradio.com. You'll see the Cat Stacks interview. We want to thank Cat Stacks. Make sure you follow her at catstacks.net. That's her Twitter name at this moment. And follow me at Heaven Hollywood, and also follow my producer here with his crazy Twitter name. What's the Twitter name?
It's at YankeeMan1973.
At YankeeMan1973. Follow my producer James Acevedo and co-host on his show, the podcast, the Benchwarmers podcast. And other than that, next week we'll be back with more craziness, another experience next week. I'm sure I'll have some more stuff that went on, and hopefully we'll have it in. So guys, and we'll also talk about the party.
Yes.
What happened tonight? Hopefully a lot of juicy stuff happened.
Maybe we can record a little something.
I'm going to try my best.
I mean, I respect.
Right.
To be up there. Hey, how you doing?
Right. Throw it up on Dollhouse Radio. We'll see.
We'll see.
So my name is Heaven Hollywood. Yes.
Yes, but I'm sorry, real quickly. Next week, definitely, because Heaven was talking about we don't know certain days we're going to do the Heaven Hollywood Digital Experience. But definitely next week, we do have a day, and it'll be Monday nights we will record. So
great.
Not that it's live, but it's between 7 and 9 p.m.
Nice.
So definitely Tuesday will be, because we ain't going to do it that night.
Right. Monday night. We're going to have it on Tuesday all the time.
Night show.
I want to thank everybody. Thank my producer. Thank CSB.
You're welcome.
We want to thank India Morel.
Yes.
Make sure you follow her at Sexy India. And of course, thanks Cat Stacks. And we'll see you all next week. It's your boy, Heaven Hollywood, signing off. And before I go, I must always say, I don't know what to say, but I'm out of here.
Did I say something?
Yes.
I say ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.